Today on the Charge Up, Charger baseball plays their 2000th game in program history, women's lacrosse looks to keep their winning streak alive, and softball took to the road for 2 doubleheaders. It's all going down on the Charge Up. Hello everyone, welcome to the Charge Up. I'm Ethan Cardona, and with me today is Devin Maida and Chris DiGeronimo. What's up, guys?
I'm chilling.
Feeling great.
Great to hear. Let's get to the action. Baseball split 2 doubleheaders over the weekend, defeating Bentley 8-6 and Stonehill 11-5, while also playing the 2000th game in the program's history. Guys, what did we see from the team this weekend?
Well, the Bats finally came alive this weekend. Besides Game 2 against Bentley, they only could muster up 4 hits in that game. But the other 3 games, they were dropping bombs all over the place. They had 14 total hits in the first game against Bentley. They also dropped another 12 in Game 1 against Stonehill and another 13 in Game 2 against Stonehill. So the Bats finally came alive to help out that struggling pitching staff. So this was nice to see from the guys.
Yeah, going off that, in the second game against Stonehill, they had 25 hits and 20 runs overall in both games. So, yeah, like you said, the offense was really clicking all weekend, and it was good to help the pitching staff out.
Yeah, you saw guys all over that lineup hitting. You had, in Game 1 against Bentley, they had 5 players with 2 or more hits. Noah Budzik, the whole weekend was phenomenal, or the whole week, was phenomenal. He was 7 for 15 for the whole week, which was nice. They were just hitting double, the extra base hits, small ball. It was stealing base. They were playing good all-around offensive baseball.
Yeah, it was really great to see these. We've been waiting almost all season for the Bats to finally wake up, and they just sprung to life. I don't know what happened, what clicked that they just dropped 20 runs on Sunday, but they absolutely just went off. And it's great to see the Bats coming alive. Now, hopefully, that'll contribute with the pitching, and they'll start getting more and more wins as we get into getting closer to that postseason push.
Yeah, going off that, they have almost the whole rest of the season only 10 games, with 1 game with the exception against Dominican College. But if they can start stringing together wins and starting to get it all together, I think we can make a push for maybe winning the Southwest Division, the NE10, if they can get enough momentum and enough wins along the way here.
Yeah, I think there's an added pressure from last season being that, we hosted a tournament. We hosted a playoff tournament. I don't know if the pressure is getting to them or the loss of seniors or what's going on with the team, but this isn't Charger baseball that we're used to seeing. I think this weekend they finally woke up, realized what game they're trying to play, and I think they're really going to step up. Like you said, it's mostly NE10 play the rest of the way, so you're fighting for the conference playoffs now. You need to be able to move up there and also move up in the region, and I think they finally woke up this week.
Yeah, it was nice to see that they had 2 doubleheaders because that's giving them plenty of games to play. Because they were playing teams that had maybe 10 games more played than them because they had 9 postponed games already. So they were almost a little behind. So now this gives them a chance to catch up, get more at bats, and get a feel for the game. And we're seeing the production being shown. So this is good to see.
Yeah, and I just want to bring up the pitching because they've struggled this season, but they have a combined 3.84 ERA as a pitching staff, which is pretty decent. I think I believe it's top 5 in the NE10. So they have potential to be a good pitching staff. Not as good as they were last year with Tim Kennedy and David Palmer, but they have the depth and the pieces to be a great pitching staff this season and in the future going down the line.
Definitely, without a doubt. I even like Brandon LaManna coming out of the pen. He's been lights out all year.
Yes.
He's got 19 in the 3rd innings pitched on the year, and he's still got a 0 ERA, yet to give up a run. So hopefully he keeps doing that.
Yep.
Yeah, you see those freshmen, when you have freshman players, especially pitching, that can come in and give you solid relief, I think the team's going to really do well. And I think hopefully, like we mentioned, that hopefully they step up.
Yep, definitely.
Baseball will return to the field on Wednesday to take on Pace at Frank Vieira Field. First pitch is set for 3:30 p.m.
Women's lacrosse won their 2nd consecutive game Saturday as they defeated American International 17-5. Guys, who played the biggest role in this win?
Guess who's back? Back again. Mackenzie Ray's back.
Yes.
Tell a friend. She had 6 goals in that win, and she previously got shut down against the ranked teams, but now she's back. She contributed 6 goals, and the offense played really well on Saturday.
Yeah. I think what you're seeing is you know, we saw for a while she's dropping like 7, 8, 9 goals, and they shut her down, and they were still scoring.
Yep.
And I think they finally realized, hey, even if she's not going to score, we got a lot of talent on this team that can still go out and score goals for us, which is why it's Mackenzie Ray. So saying only 6, I know sounds crazy because you're scoring a double hat trick. But for Mackenzie Ray, 6 goals almost feels like nothing at this point.
It's like
a routine for her.
Yeah.
So they're really spreading the wealth, and I think that really contributed to this win.
And let's not forget about Kendra Nolan, who also dropped another 6 goals too. So that could be that's a great 1-2 punch right there between her and Ray. And even Julia Jetty, she's always dishing out apples constantly, giving out. She had another 2 assists in this game. It's a very balanced attack that these ladies have, and they even forced 19 turnovers as well.
Yeah.
So that's huge.
Yeah, and then draw controls too. They also have the advantage in that. So keeping the ball in their end and allowing their offense to develop and
Just
move
control
down the field.
possession.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and the defense was also good. Guerrero had 7 saves, and then they put in Rinsky, who finished the game off. Yeah. So having that depth at goaltender also helps, because then you could take out Guerrero, give her some rest, and then put in Rinsky as a backup when you're up by so much like they were on Saturday.
Yeah, I think it's something that's crazy to see. I feel like every time a press release comes out, the headline always has something with career high. Yeah. Like it seems like every time someone goes out, someone different is breaking their own records, breaking school records. It's just incredible to see that it's not like Mackenzie Ray is going to go off every game. It's just going to be her in the stat line. But every time there's someone different that's breaking a record, and you're really just seeing the talent spread throughout this entire team.
It's a sign of a really good team. Because after a rough game against Lemoyne, who's #1 in the nation, and then a rough game against another ranked opponent against Assumption, they bounce back and win 2 in a row, which is ideal.
Yeah,
that's what you want to see from a ranked team like New Haven.
Definitely, and we moved down in the rankings, but that doesn't prove what the type of team we are. We're obviously better than the ranking, and I think they will move up in the rankings once we start winning again, once getting everything back together.
Yeah, competition's tough. You know, 3/4 of the top 20 is in the Northeast. We have at least 5, 6, 7 teams just in our conference that are nationally ranked for women's lacrosse. So, you know, it's tough. They're playing tough competition. So, yes, we're still going to be nationally ranked. We're dropping in the rankings, but look at who we're playing. We're playing other teams that are top 20 in the nation, and it's not like we're getting blown out. Like, the only game that was really a blowout was Lemoyne, and they're the defending national champions and the #1 team in the country for a reason.
They're clearly better than everyone else by a huge margin, even from 1 to 2. So it's nothing to hang your head about at all.
Exactly. You're seeing how the ranking doesn't mean much because 3/4 of your conference is going to be ranked. Yeah. You just need to go out and play those teams, play them close, and that'll move you up, and that'll still build momentum going into the rest of the season.
Yeah, and the schedule's going to get easier later on in the season, so it's just going to help us in every way, shape, and form. Yeah.
Well, let's hope the Chargers keep it up. Women's lacrosse will look to win 3 in a row Wednesday as they take on Southern New Hampshire. First draw is set for 3:30 p.m.
Softball went 2-2 over the weekend, dropping 2 games to St. Anselm and sweeping a twin bill against St. Michael's. Guys, what does the team need to do to get back on track?
Get a little more consistent, because the bats struggled a little bit, which you don't want to see. But it's a long, grueling season, so there's going to be up and downs, very streaky game. Yeah. But just keep riding the great pitching by Ava Fitzmaurice that they've been getting. And we even saw a great performance in relief by Maya Iodice, who had another 5 2/3 innings pitched, only gave up 1 hit and 0 earned runs to close out that game for the Chargers and gave them that dub.
Yep. I think we're seeing the depth of this team. We're starting to see, yes, they've been struggling with hitting recently, but the pitching's kept them in games. They've been able to still win. We also see depth at the catcher position. You know, Giovanna Hillman has been the starting catcher. She goes down. Sam Herrera steps up. She plays great. Then she goes down, and then Cata Ponte comes in. She steps up, and she plays solid the last few games. So we really see depth at the catcher. Like you said, Maya Iodice out of the bullpen. Pitching, she was solid. Meg Butts is starting to become the Meg Butts of old. Yep. And she's we see 3 consistent pitchers now out of this bullpen and out of right off the circle to start games. And I think they're really getting it together on that end.
Yeah, it's really great that they can mix and match the pitchers also. Like somebody can come in relief, someone can start, and it's vice versa.
Yeah.
So I think it's really going to be beneficial to them going forward.
That can help disrupt the lineup of opposing teams. It's kind of like what the Tampa Bay Rays are doing down in Tampa. their starter as a reliever, and then they switch
Yeah.
a guy to 2 innings. No one batter is going to see that pitcher twice, and it's tough. And that's you see, and it's a winning strategy. Not saying the Chargers are going to pull a Kevin Cash and do that, but you can almost with this 3-headed monster at the pitching staff.
Yeah, I just want to point out the resiliency of this team because they had, I think, 3 out of 5 walk-offs last week or 2 weeks. The 2-week span that previously they had 3 walk-offs, and then the game last week on Wednesday against Pace, they won the first game. Then the second game they were down 2-0, and came back and scored 3 runs, and then unfortunately they gave it up. But they were still in the game. They're always in it, and you can never count them out because of this great pitching and great offense also.
Yeah, resiliency is key. Like you mentioned in that game never ended.
Yeah.
That game's going to get
play
continued tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So you know it's resiliency because now you're going into a game that you started at home with different umpires. You already were supposed to play a 4 o'clock start against Pace already. Now you have to go in and play the end of a game. You're starting this game in the 9th inning.
Oh.
So to go in with, it's going to be a different lineup because you're going to save your pitchers for the second game. I think we're really going to see them step up or step aside tomorrow, and I think they're really going to step up. They've been playing better of late, and I think they're really going to show it tomorrow.
Yeah, now going off that now, everybody's fresh now. As in the 9th inning of the game previously, they weren't. So now it gives them the advantage going into that game.
And
so hopefully they can pull it out.
And they're going to be tested because it's just going in to almost essentially play 1 inning. I mean, you don't know if it stays tied, but it can end at any point. It's just going to be playing. You can go from playing a 1-inning game just to continue that old game, or you can play a whole full another game. I mean, that's the beauty of softball.
Yeah, and I think I saw something interesting out of we talk about the pitching all the time. Something that I saw Jen Stark do this weekend was when they played St. Anselm. You kind of almost expect that game 1, Ava Fitzmaurice is going to start. And what she did was she started Meg Butts, which I think is a great strategy as a coach because the other coach is expecting Ava to throw, so she's going to throw in a different lineup than she would if she would expect Meg Butts to go in. So then when she starts game 2, she's a little flustered because she knows Ava's going in now instead of game 1. I think it was a great move on her part.
And then puts even more pressure on the other team for game 2.
Yeah. So great strategy, great wins by the Chargers this weekend. So hopefully they keep it up.
Oh, yeah.
Softball will return to action Tuesday as they take on Pace. First pitch is set for 4 p.m.
Well, that's all we have for you this week on the Charge Up. For live game streaming, go to newhavenchargers.com. And for up-to-date campus news, visit thechargerbulletin.com. I'm Ethan.
I'm Devin.
I'm Chris, and we'll see you next week on
The Charge Up.